Hey everyone, welcome to Hopium. Today we'll be doing a little demo of our screener. Now before we get started, I'd like to give a huge thanks to all of our early supporters. The screener wouldn't be where it is today without all of your feedback and input. Please keep letting us know how we can improve it. We're trying to make this the best screener on the market, and with your help so far, I think we're on the right track. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So on the left hand side, the sidebar, you can see we have a bunch of cool features coming out soon, like watch list and signals. And we also have a bunch of existing stuff too, like reports and whatnot. But the focus of today is just the screener. So let's start with that. So at the top here, you can see we have a couple of presets. These are just predefined filters. Let's take a closer look at the breakout filter we have over here. So if you take a look at all these graphs down here, you can kind of see that they're all somewhat shooting up. So they've recently broke out or breaking out for some time now. And we can also expand these charts, right? So here we have Costco, and here you can see it on the daily. We can zoom in, zoom out, also switch the time frame. So now you're looking at hourly. Again, scroll. So let's quickly scroll back up and see how this screener was put together. So as you can see, it's very basic, some closes above some EMA. And here you can see we support SMAs, EMAs, Bollinger Bands, and your regular open, high, low, close. And on the indicator side, we have RSI. You can see it's above 70 for this case, and we also support MACD, stochastic oscillators. And while we're at it, let me show you some of the candlestick we support. So you can see like the 3 white soldiers and whatnot, as well as patterns. And you can see you can screen for stuff like symmetric triangle, which is pretty cool. So if you didn't know already, we also support different asset types like crypto. So let me give you a sneak peek into one of my very simple screeners I set up, which is a crypto golden cross. So here you can just see it's a simple SMA 50 crossing above SMA 200. And if I click on the asset type for you guys to take a look at, you can see we also have a Forex as well. Let's also quickly look at the charts down here, and you can see there's 3 matches, and over here each one of these points are where the crossover occurs. So let's end this demo off by showing you guys how to create a screener from scratch. For this screener, I'm going to be using one of my favorite technical indicators, which is the Bollinger Bands. We're going to try to detect for a mean reversion, so something that went too far below the mean and supposedly is supposed to bounce back up to it. To detect this, we're going to want to look for stocks that had the close crossing right above the Bollinger Band bottom. Now, if you take a look at the results, we have about 210 of them, and which is quite a lot of companies we have to filter through. And visually looking at these charts, you can't really see the mean reversion or the potential mean reversion, right? But luckily we can customize these charts over here to make it easier to see. We don't really need the SMA, so we can tick those off. And just to keep things less cluttered, let's also check off the major resistance and support. And all we want to see is the B band. Now, when you look at the charts, you can see the 3 lines, the upper, the middle, and the lower. And visually, it's much more clear to see the cross back up above the Bollinger Band lower. Now, although we screen for 210 stocks that match our criteria, that's still a lot for us to manually go over, right? So why don't we try to trim these down a bit? We can add a new indicator to try to detect for something that's more bullish, right? So a simple way to do this is as long as the SMA 50 is above the 200. So not crossing, but as long as it's above. Now you can see that we went from 210 companies all the way down to 73. So now less companies we have to go over and vet ourselves. Let's also try to go a little further and try to look for only large cap companies as well. Now we only have 47 companies that match our criteria. Now I think what we have is pretty good, so let's try to save it. Let's name the screener about to bounce. Now, if you look at this bell icon over here, that means we're subscribed to this specific screener. Whenever there's new companies that match our criteria, we get notified of it. And this notification is sent straight to your email, the one where you registered with. Now, you may think the 47 is still a lot of stock, so we can try to filter it some more. This was a good chance for us to demo one of our newer filters, which is the in subreddit. So in this specific case, we might also want to look for stuff that are kind of making noise on the Wall Street bets. So maybe more people will buy into it. So now that we've selected it, you can see we only have 6 companies now, right? So Box, CrowdStrike, Snapchat, Square. It's a pretty cool filter, right? It's not something you would see on any other screener out there on the market right now. Well, this is pretty much it for the demo. I hope you guys will be able to build some pretty cool screeners and get alerts for them. And again, if you guys want to screen for something and the filter is not built in yet, let us know. If it's possible, we'll prioritize it and build it in for you. Happy screening, guys. Later.